Have you identified an artist in the Pokemon TCG that you really like? Are you flipping through cards when you open a pack and you say, oh, that's neat, that's different? Are you sorting through bulk and you're like, oh, I didn't see this artist's version of this Pokemon before? Now, if you're dealing with a lot of cards, this sometimes happens. Now, the first thing I'll say is this happens to me all the time and I've Tomokazu Komiya. Whenever you see doing pack openings, you'll notice that it catches my eye. It captures me for that second. It captures me for, I look at the card, and I look at the artist. So this is something you could do. If you have an artist in the Pokemon TCG that you really like, you can collect an artist binder. Now, artist binders are a little bit more difficult to collect because they span eras. They span all sorts of different timelines, right? You're not going to find, well, you might some new artists, but you're not going to find things all in the last few sets. And the difficult part about working on an artist set is not the hit cards. It's not the cards that everyone covets. It's the little cards, the smaller, like uncommon, common trainer cards, things that you're not going to find at like your sneakerhead TCG shop, or you're not going to find at the vendor table laid out really easy to find. These are going to be things that you're going to have to search for. You're going to have to really talk to the people who really been collecting a long time. Now, I want to do a binder of Tomokazu Komiya. I want to. And this is the first day of me actually setting out and beginning the process. Now, I've thought about it a little bit. I've been sorting bulk, come across his cards. What I'm going to do is do this video, get the way through the binder, work our way on a binder. Now, one of the hard things again about the artist's binder is you don't really have like collector doesn't have like or Poke Collector doesn't have like, here's the artist cards. You're going to have to make the list yourself. You're going to have to do some research. Now, we're in a day and age where this might have been more difficult 5 years ago, but there are tools that you should pursue and look at when you're thinking about an artist binder. Now, one of the best websites out there for Pokemon information, Pokemon TCG information, is cerebi.net. Forgive me as I slaughter the names of many things. I'm going to show you, so first off, we're going to show you the cerebi.net. I searched for Tomokazu Komiya's cards, and Cerebi is the first link. Now, you can see it's listing all the cards, and you can see the most recent one was in the Mega Gengar set EX starter deck. You got Inferno X. So, amazingly, it's all here. Like, every single one of this artist's cards are here. This is a huge amount of research, a huge amount of collection, and I don't know if you're going to find this everywhere, but as I scroll through this is listing all of the cards. Now, I can hit the print button, and then I got a big stack of papers I can work through. But unfortunately, it's a pain. If you ever work through you want a set list that is compact, that you can identify cards, you can check it off. So my immediately thought was, well, I need a really tight checklist. And who's going to help me but good old ChatGPT, the boomer in me making use of ChatGPT AI. So the first thing I do is I go to chat and I say, can you create me a list of Tomokazu Komiya's cards from the Pokemon trading card game? And the first thing it says is, I can't do it. I can provide you a large list of copyrighted items. So then it says, provide a link to a public database where you can view and export the list. So that's what I did. It says, hey, I'll build you a spreadsheet. But, it's a start, right? This is where you're going to work with AI and sort of refine. You don't get what you want the first time you ask a question, but as you work with it, you'll get there. So I give it the link, and it says, "Oh, I'm getting, I'm getting an internal error." So maybe Cerebi.net does not like us scraping them for information. Try Poke Collector, TCG Player, etc. for the list. So in order for me to make ChatGPT work, I had to log in, I had to paste my Cerebi.net list of all of the authors, the artists' cards, and then it needed a plugin in order for it to process the list. But it took care of it once I logged into ChatGPT. It gave me a nice list. You could see the list, and you could see it has all of the cards and the key things that I need, which is the name, the set, and the set number. And since I'm going to be putting this in my binder and carrying it around, I'm not going to need, the picture of the card, but my copy paste does have all the Cerebi pictures. So if I ever need to look, I can visit Cerebi, but I could also look at my checklist. I'm going to print it. I'm going to use it in order to fill up my card list to work on this binder. And it looks like there's about 262 cards from Komiya. So it should be an interesting binder. We're going to have to it's going to be a lot of work. So we got some information. So based on the list I gave, 245 to 250 cards. So that's a really good binder. And imagine having a binder complete with the artist that you want. I think that that's going to be one of my best binders if I can work on it. And it's not something you're going to do overnight. These are long commitment binders. These are real collector tasks. And maybe not as easy as going and doing a master set. Not as easy as a master set. Master sets are hard. So there should be some things where, we want to work on this list. We want to be getting the cards. We're going to have to hunt for cards. I don't know. I'm going to Japan in a few months. I might hunt there, but it's unlikely I'll be able to find these cards. It's probably going to be mostly online searches and getting lucky and hopefully finding people who are offloading bulk, right? I'm going to start working on the binder. Now, what I did is I took an empty binder. This one I used to sell my dollar singles in. It's a Vault-X binder. There's like some old code cards in there. And I don't know exactly the number of cards in this one, but this is a good placeholder until I decide its permanent location or permanent binder. What I'm going to do is, the first thing is I have access to bulk, which you may not. You probably have access to some of your older cards or some cards that you know of this artist. So my first recommendation is to make this list, go through and try to find cards that you own, and try to find as many as possible. Now, I am not confident that I can lay out my binder in perfect sequence at this point in time. I just don't have the data. I don't have the knowledge yet. I just have a big old list, and I'll work on it. But I do know the artist, and I've seen the cards in bulk, and we're going to go through and try to find as many possible cards as we can just from what we have here. And most of these are common, uncommon. I mean, the rules that I'm going to follow is I don't care about condition. So if I can get an expensive card for damaged condition, as long as the art is there, I'm not going to mind. I'm going to look for, I do like reverse hollows. So if I can get a reverse hollow over a non-hollow, then I will probably get the reverse hollow. But that's how I'm going to play it. Now, this is going to be a video that spans a few days. So guys, I had a little bit of time to go through and build my list, get it printed. So far, all I've been able to do is go through my Scarlet and Violet bulk. And as you can see, I have my first set of check marks. There's a couple of what we're going to notice throughout is we're going to have these bigger cards, basically, ultra rares, IRs, at least to start. They're a bit harder to quickly fill in the binder. Now, when you're collecting something, it's more of a long-term effort. And that's why I expect to sort of revisit this topic over the course of a couple of months, actually. It's going to take a while for me to collect all of the Komiya cards. And I don't even know if it's possible. I've heard that other YouTubers have attempted it. Other YouTubers have more resources than I do. Everything from access to eBay, access to TCG Player, access to just things that I do not. Now, as you can see, I'm working sort of chronologically backwards, and I'm going to be working on the binder shortly. Let's look at some of the Komiya arts that we have so far. And this is, I think, going forward. So, what have we got? Snover, Noibat. Now, Morlo. As you can see, these are sort of the signature Komiya styles. And this is what always catches my eye. It's about, there's a lot going on in these cards, and it's a nice sort of abstract art with the Pokemon near and dear, with always some sort of something ancillary, something on the side. Look at the toad scroll with that little tree in the center. It's nice. Now, these are the 151s. He did the full evolution line. And it's, conjured in the city, ghastly, looking at the window or in the window. So these are the cards that I'm going to go for. You got to love this Lechonk. It's beautiful, abstract, interesting. Sandile. So those are some of the cards that I'm going to be filling up this binder. And there's a lot to go. But it's one of the things about pursuing a collection is it's about having this long-term goal. And even when you're thinking, if you're just a set collector or even a big money slab collector, it's a process. You don't want to do it all at once. You want to develop it over time. Time is your friend when it comes to the TCGs, because most collectors, they're in it for the fanciful, 18 months max. If you're in it for longer, that's when the benefits start to come. So cards you've squirreled away, they have value, increased trade capability. You're able to sell some things. You're able to buy, know what to buy, what to go after now versus what to wait. Those are the things you learn over the course of time. Your best friend when it comes to Pokemon card collecting. So I'm at the biggest card show here in here in Halifax. It runs every month, the end of the Saturday every month, and I don't vend ever, but I do supply some vendors. So I might be dropping off some product if those vendors need to be restocked. It depends on how busy they are, but I'm here looking for Komiya cards. So I'll try to take some video of the overall vendor space. We'll see what they got. Let's hope some people have some of the, at least the modern Komiya that I'm looking for. It would be a big relief to knock some of those down off the binder. And I have my list. If you're doing like a set like this, if you're doing an art set, it's always good to have your list. Even if you don't have your binder with you, it allows you to sort of check things off, especially if you're going to be buying multiple in a day. So let's see it. So at the card show, some of the most ideal things happened. So the first off is I came across a table, and it was a table of, it was two children, young people, and I apologize I don't have a video of the actual the show. I really need to get myself in line so I can start taking some show video. I think you guys would love it. The shows around here are very good because they're very old style, compared to like a big show that you would see in the States, like a Collecticon, where you have like rows and rows of high-end slabs and sealed product. The shows that we have here are more in line with a flea market of Pokemon. Like it's more in line with a flea market where you're going to see a lot more cards that are like low value but niche, stuff people finding in their closets. There's a lot more of that here because of how let's call it immature, but how rooted the market is here in Nova Scotia. It's actually quite nice compared to going to Collecticon and just seeing the same expensive cards over and over again. So here we are. I come across a table. No one's at the table. Father, two kids. And I think the father might have worked for the card store, so he's just there, teaching his kids to vend. But they have a binder. And I also see on the table as well, Pikachu V Union. Now, Komiya has never illustrated a Pikachu card on its own. Never. There's no Pikachus in the Komiya collection. There's Pikachus, but there's no single card Pikachu in the Komiya collection. But he did participate in the celebrations, basically the 25th anniversary V Union card. Now, if you're aware of the V Union card, and I'm going to start showing it, it's a bunch of Pikachus all over the place, right? So we see lots of different Pikachus, and this is probably one of the best cards. The fact is, it's a great card. Unfortunately, it's a V Union. So here is the Komiya. So this Pikachu right here, illustrated by Komiya. So every Pikachu is a different artist in this card, and this is the Komiya one. So I had to pick up this card. I saw it, and that stopped me at the table. And it was an okay price. It's kids. I'm not going to be like negotiating. But they had a binder. Now, I have some of these cards in my bulk. I know it. But being kids, being vending, they're trying to sell these cards. I think it was 5 for $1 or something like that, which is a-okay when it's coming to buy in bulk. So Drampa, everyone has seen this Drampa. Anybody who's ever opened the Evolving Skies, sorry, Chilling Rain, has seen this Drampa. Definitely a very big Drampa. We got a Grubbin. The Grubbin was from, oh, I forget this one. Shining Fates, maybe? We've got Malamar. This one is from Lost Origin. We've got Bronzor. I think this was from Astral Radiance or Lost Origin. I'm not sure. This is Komiya, pure Komiya. So I started to go through Seva Viper and picking up. Look at the Croconaw, guys. Look at this. Now, I started picking up these cards, and it was so good to be able to like participate and help the kids learn to vend. Now, one of them had like like Cheez-Its all over their fingers, so I didn't shake hands, but I shook hands with the boy and thanked him because I told him what I was doing. I told him I was collecting this set, and I went through their binder and I pulled out all of these cards. Now, they're commons, and but the fact is I got to make this part of my collecting experience, just helping kids learn to vend. I don't think they expected to sell all of these cards to me. Gloom, look at that. So this is why I love Komiya. This is why I love Komiya. And when you do this, you get to find art that you haven't seen before. Pineko. I think he does a lot of Pinekos for some reason. I mean they're not in the greatest shape. These are binder cards from kids. Roggenrola from Evolving Skies. Everyone's seen this one a lot. And Jellicent, from Battle Styles. So, picked up all these. Great deal. I think I pointed out that they had some promos that probably should not be in the dollar binder. They should be in the dollar per card binder. But, yeah. So, I'm walking through the store. Everybody has, there's a lot of vendors who have the exact same stuff. They either have these high-end alt arts or SIRs, or they have a bunch of sealed product they picked up at Costco. Whatever. So I come across someone who has bulk, but the bulk itself was older bulk. So I start to look through their bulk. Now the great thing about Komiya is his art, very noticeable. So as you're going through bulk, you can quickly find cards that you didn't know they were Komiya, you didn't know about them. This was one of the biggest scores. This Munchlax is a beautiful, beautiful card. Upside down. No, sorry. Magneton. So these ones, Komiya cards. Now, I picked up a few that were not from Komiya. I guess we got to turn the whole thing. An Inkata card. I picked up some. So what this is really going to do is help me in the process. Look at this Cyndaquil, guys. Come on. So I was able to get a couple of the older cards. Slack off. Look at that. Old e-readers. So Lotad. As you can see, if you go back further and further, right, the art was kind of a little more subtle at the time, but it was still Komiya, right? Look at that. Lombre. Now, I was able to pick up. This is an awesome skitty. You gotta admit, this is like a skitty. This is a really good one. This is Komiya. So I picked up a bunch of these cards. Not high value cards. I think I got all of these, 10, 11 cards, these older cards, which are like, they're bulk. But, found them all in one place. And it's saving me like hundreds of, I'm guessing like $50 just in friggin' shipping fees. Just being able to pick this up. And I was so excited that and I didn't get through all of it. So I'm going to return to the card store. It's a once a month thing. I'm going to return and hit up this guy again, see if I can find more. But as I get to this state, it's easy, right? I see a Komiya, I buy it. Eventually I get to the state where I have so many Komiyas, I'm going to have to start judging, do I have this one? Do I need this one? And that's definitely going to happen soon. But this is part of the process, right? It's first off, you're getting a bunch of cards, and I got to work on the checklist and check all these off. And then you get to the point where you try to get as much as possible, as bulk as possible, like as often as possible. And yeah, I know for a fact that I'm going to buy duplicates by error, by omission, by I didn't realize I had this one already in my bulk pile. Most of the Sword and Shield I probably have in reverse holo form, but it was nice to buy from kids. Nice to buy from young vendors, not people totally obsessed with, you know, everything. So the Komiya process continues. Hope you guys join me because I will be doing Komiya updates every once in a while. I do like this challenge. It's interesting and it's not as expensive as you might think, although I probably didn't get to the expensive cards yet, which it's gonna come. Hope you guys enjoy the video.